to Recollections May Vary, a royal recap. I'm Kinsey Schofield here with Kevin O'Sullivan. You watch us together on the Political Asylum with Kevin O'Sullivan, and we are in for a wild ride today, Kev. Harry and Meghan have kept us really busy, but one place where I was surprised to find them absent was throughout the Jeff Bezos, Lauren Sánchez wedding mix. Now, there are a series of lavish celebrations that are set to unfold this week in honor of their upcoming nuptials. According to a source in Italy, Bezos and Sanchez are officially set to say I do on June 27th. Now, it's a 3-day affair with a star-studded guest list that reportedly includes Oprah, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kim Kardashian, Bill Gates, Barbra Streisand, and Ivanka Trump. Unlike Harry and Meghan, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez actually know these people. Harry and Meghan had some similar guests at their wedding, but George Clooney was like, I don't know, I've never met him. Kev, do you think that it kills Meghan to be excluded from the wedding of the year? I mean, a wedding that without a doubt, I'm sorry, will be bigger than hers.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the wedding to be at this year. As you say, it will be the wedding of the year. No expense will be spared. It is, after all, if not the richest man in the world. I think he's the second richest man in the world. Soon to become the richest, the way old Elon Musk's going about his business at the moment. But so this is a very, very wealthy man. 3 days in Venice. No expense spared. Be there or be square. The guest list is going to be the guest list, the definition of the A-list. And would Meghan like to be there? She would kill to be there. But I don't think her or Harry came anywhere near making this guest list. They weren't sort of considered and then, oh, well, perhaps we can't quite fit them in. These people are not in this league anymore. Harry and Meghan.
Wait, I'm glad you said they're not in this league anymore, because one of the questions I had for you was, I think 5 years ago they would have been invited to this wedding.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. That was during their novelty phase, particularly when Hollywood just wanted to embrace them. Hey, it's Harry, it's Meghan, amazing, amazing. The prince is here. You know, and that was the job that the gruesome twosome had. It was to build on that, to establish themselves. Yes, people greeted them warmly, but how were they going to be accepted by Hollywood, by America going forward? They've done nothing to ingratiate themselves to anyone at all. And as I say, they didn't come close to making the Bezos wedding guest list. They didn't come anywhere near close. They are off the A list. They're off the B list. I don't even think they make the C list anymore. So poor old Meghan, in terms of this lavish wedding in Venice, would love to be there myself, by the way. I didn't make the guest list either. But Meghan will be dying a bit inside over this, no doubt about it.
Okay, so I have a challenging question for you, I think, because there is a lot of negativity surrounding Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. And when I try to figure out what it could be about, it's my personal opinion that it stems from the way that they got together. You know, they apparently, allegedly, well, no, they were married. They were married to other people when they started seeing each other. Now, a tabloid gets a hold of some text messages of Lauren Sanchez's between her and Jeff Bezos, and apparently some salacious photos. And the tabloid, according to Jeff Bezos, tries to blackmail him into, you know, what is it called? Catch and kill. They tried to blackmail him into making these images and text messages go away. Like, within hours of the tabloid announcing that these two are in a relationship, they file for divorce. And here we are several years later. They are America's power couple. Now, I want to say that the reason that Harry and Meghan don't fit into this clique is because they are such I don't know, when it comes to the tabloids, Harry and Meghan are splashed across every page. There's something messy. There's something so messy about them. But at the same time, when you think about the way Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez started, the messiness is
Yeah.
something that they actually have in common. Am I totally off there?
No, I don't think
Why
so. But
have they been excluded from this clique?
well, they've been, I think when you say excluded from this clique, I think that, as I say, I don't even think they were among the maybes, if you see what I mean. These two are just nowhere to be seen anymore. They are not in the A League. Now, Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, you know, very rich men, or for that matter, women, are very rarely universally popular. Everybody hates a rich guy. Now, what I think that the Bezoses suffer from is there's this narrative. It might be unfair, I don't know, but Lauren Sanchez, kind of good-looking woman, possibly slightly surgically improved, I don't know. But she sees Jeff Bezos and she thinks, I could get my hands on the richest man in the world, and you know what, I will. So people don't like that kind of story. A woman who goes for a rich
So again,
guy.
similar to Harry and Meghan,
Yeah,
right?
sorry,
Again, similar to Harry and Meghan.
kind of. But I think the other thing is about very rich people like Jeff Bezos. Despite the fact that the general public might not like him much, the celebrity A-list always gravitates towards the very rich people, because the very rich people will send their private jets to pick them up, will fly them to Venice, stick them in the most expensive hotel, give them the most lavish time, and they'll pay for it all. That's what A-list Hollywood celebrities love, hence the guest list. But as we keep saying, I'm afraid that kind of event is a million miles above Harry and Meghan's pay grade. They're just not in the races anymore.
Now, there were reports circulating a few weeks ago that Meghan really envied Lauren Sanchez, and I understand why. I mean, I think more than
because her husband's actually rich.
Yeah, and there were a few of us that said we couldn't believe Meghan Markle wasn't up in space with Gayle King and Lauren Sanchez. Like, Meghan has some pretty sharp elbows. I could imagine her bumping Katy Perry out of the way in Montecito so she could have her spot on the space flight. But knowing what we've seen of them, could Harry and Meghan worm their way back into the A-list crowd? Or does the desperation that Meghan reeks of right now hinder that opportunity for her?
Well, look, here's another factor about all of those people on the Bezos guest list. So you can take it that the wedding guest list for Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's nuptials is definitively the A-list. Okay, so who are the people on the A-list? What defines them? Two things: they're wealthy in their own right, and they're incredibly successful at what they do. These are the superstars, the people who have massively succeeded in life, have conquered Hollywood, have risen to the top of the tree. Jeff Bezos, meanwhile, has risen to the top of the world tree. These kind of successful people attract. They're like magnetic fields to each other. They come together. Now, how do we define Harry and Meghan? I don't see any signs of success there. Harry, God knows what he's doing. Meghan is not a success for all her shouting and screaming, announcing I've got a new range of apricot fruit spread. This is not success. This is kind of pathetic. God knows what's going on with that woman, but she is not a success. As ever, is not a success. With Love, Meghan was not a success. The next series will not be a success. I don't think the contract with Netflix is even in existence now. So Harry and Meghan have got that terrible thing in Hollywood. They've got the aura of failure. Nothing is more toxic in Tinseltown than failure. And I'm afraid Harry and Meghan reek of failure. That's another reason why they're not going to Venice.
You're only as great as your last win. And their last win commercially together was the Harry and Meghan docuseries, which was years ago. Do you agree with me that you're only as great as your last win? And that was a while ago, too long for Hollywood.
Well, again, you're quite right, Kinsey. I mean, to talk about the sort of success we're discussing in terms of these people who are going to be in Venice with Jeff Bezos. The level of success they have is achieved by succeeding starring in a smash hit movie, producing a smash hit movie, and then going on straight afterwards to star in another smash hit movie. You have to keep on keeping on in Hollywood. You can't just make one hit movie and say, hey, I'll be back in 5 years. No, no, no. You have to prove that you can succeed, that you always succeed. Now, as you quite rightly say, Harry and Meghan, when they were selling their souls with that awful Oprah Winfrey, the awful series, that horrible series on Netflix, and of course, Harry's disgusting little book, Spare. Now, those were successful, but what followed them? Nothing, because they've got nothing else to give. In other words, they coughed everything they had to cough, and they've got nothing left. So again, they cannot claim to be successful because the minor successes they had at the beginning of their California journey were never followed up because they got nothing left to give. So I'm afraid that unless they can come up with something that makes them the talk of the town all over the world, they're kind of finished. You know what Hollywood's like, Kinsey, you live there. You know, you can be out in the cold for donkey's years, but if you suddenly produce something that everyone's talking about, everyone wants to know you. And nobody wants to know those two because they haven't produced anything since the Netflix series and or Spare. Nothing whatsoever. So, as I say, they've got the most toxic problem you can possibly have in Tinseltown, and that is the aura, the aroma of failure.
I'm going to stay kind of in this lane of celebrities versus Meghan Markle here. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, some of Hollywood's, without a doubt, most powerful, creative women. And they're also, I really admire them because of their longevity when it comes to Hollywood too. Like Nicole Kidman's kind of broken the glass ceiling here when it comes to working in Hollywood after a certain age. But Amy Poehler and Tina Fey too were like, you know what? We're going to continue to rock it no matter how old we get, which I love too, because they try to throw us away. They try to put us in a basement after our what they consider our expiration date here. Do I sound bitter? But they poked fun at Meghan Markle during a comedy show over the weekend at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City for their Restless Leg tour. They said, I believe this is Tina Fey, actually. Meghan Markle is not here tonight. She's putting flour sprinkles on cookies, and Piers Morgan is furiously rage about it. Oh no, so that is Amy Poehler that says that. And then Tina Fey takes another swipe at Meghan. She's talking about Meghan's fruit platter, the infamous fruit platter. And she says, so if you're like making a Meghan Sussex fruit rainbow, just know that you're doing it for you, okay? You're doing that to prove something to yourself, and that's okay too. Now they're
That's exactly how Meghan, that's how Meghan frames things. That's how she talks. She talks in pathetic, hackneyed cliches that everybody else has forgotten years ago. So Tina has absolutely nailed her there, you know. Whether you fail, it's still a success because you can learn from your failure. And, you know, that's okay too. It's fine to fail. No, it isn't, Meghan. It's not fine to fail. So, yeah, I mean, they nailed her. They absolutely nailed her. And again, she will hate it. But she's becoming, because of the kind of pathetic level of her business. I mean, was it last week? Waiting for two more sleeps, big announcement, 2 more sleeps. Oh, we're all on the edge of the seats. What was it? A new range of apricot fruit spread. That isn't 2 more sleeps. Nobody gives a damn about that. Her business is just a joke. It's a joke, and people are laughing at her.
Yeah, I saw Hugo Vickers tell Radar Online that the reason he thinks she keeps expanding her brand from like loose fruit spreads to rosé or whatever, it's not just about making a buck, which of course it is, but it's also about attracting attention. Because if she just continues to add new flavors to whatever jam line she's trying to shove down our throats, inevitably we will get burned out and stop talking about her. So she has, I mean, how exhausting must that be, Kevin?
Well, very exhausting for her. You're right. She's trying to create a kind of perpetual motion, trying to make the headlines. Oh, look, I'm releasing this in 2 days' time. There's something else coming. We thought the wine was coming, didn't we? Last Friday, I believe it was. And no, that was just a sort of tease. Oh, yeah, the wine, that's coming later, July the
No.
1st. Dark
I've
Prince of,
decided to honor my dead mother-in-law
yeah,
by
Diana's
releasing it
64th
on her
birthday. Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah,
Oh, can I ask you too about Tina Fey and Amy Poehler? To me, they're kind of saying that they see through the BS, like their BS meter is going off because we both know when Meghan Markle makes a rainbow fruit tray, she's doing it for the cameras. She's doing it for her Netflix show.
yeah.
She's doing it so she can post about it on the gram. She's not doing it for the kids.
Of course she's not. This woman is weirdly sort of trapped in the past. There's something really, really old-fashioned about all of this. It's tragically anachronistic. It's in the past. You don't see this kind of stuff anymore. So trapped in Montecito, she's trapped in the past. And that's why everything is failing. And I keep coming back to this. You can't make a business selling scam jam because all you're doing.
Unless it has a little something extra in it, okay?
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe.
We are in Southern California.
Yeah, well, that might work for Harry, of course. But seriously, think about it. Look, she's offering scam jam and apricot spread, $14 a jar, £10 in British money, $14. That's a hell of a lot of money for a jar of jam or jelly or whatever, this big. Now, also, to get that, you've got to fill in the form, you've got to put your credit card number in, you've got to send off. Then you have to wait like 2 weeks for it to be delivered if you're lucky, maybe longer. When you could just nip next door to the corner grocery store and get a jar of jam for, I don't know, $3 or something. The business model, I just know. I always told you, didn't I? This is not a business model. This will not work, and I know it will not work. They are going to be in big financial trouble if, as ever, it's supposed to be a source of income. Because I just think it's a source of losing a lot of money.
What a great segue. It's almost like you
I know
do
what
this
I'm doing,
for a
Kinsey,
living. It's almost like you do this for a living. So Harry and Meghan hemorrhaging staff, not necessarily for the reasons we typically think it is, because they don't get along with anybody, but because of money issues. A source says there isn't strategy. This isn't strategy surrounding some of the people that have recently left. It's survival. They're running out of money, and now they're running out of people. Despite hiring big names like comms expert Meredith Kendall-Maines and Netflix veteran Emily Robinson from The Crown, that's a story within itself, hiring Emily Robinson, who represented this TV show that was so hurtful towards the British royal family, to help rebrand themselves. Sources claim the royal couple don't have the budget to keep up with the PR. Maines released a statement framing the shakeup as a pivot towards agency-based support across 5 different time zones. Do you need 5 time zones when you're selling jam? But okay. And a well-placed source said, that's just spin. They don't have the money to keep the team they built. They tried to recreate the royal court, but California doesn't do crowns on credit. Another insider warned more layoffs are expected, and Meghan and Harry, they need a major win fast. Now, before I quote Norman Baker, tell me a little bit about Norman Baker's background, Kevin.
Norman Baker is a very redoubtable individual. He's a politician. He used to be a politician here, representative of the people. He was a Lib Dem MP, and he served in the cabinet. He was a cabinet minister here. He was the transport minister. So he's a man of some standing, but he takes a great interest in the royals. And even when he was still in politics, he wrote a book called "And What Do You Do?" I think it was called "And What Do You Do? What the Royals Don't Want You to Know About Them." And what do you do, of course, was what the Queen always asked everyone during a conversation. And what you do? And then he outlined all of the royal finances, how they make money, how much money each one of them has got. So this is his area of expertise. He has taken one look at Harry and Meghan over the years since they first went to America. And he said, look, they clearly cashed in at the beginning. They made money with Spare and with the Netflix series, Netflix contract. But that is running out fast. And he can't see where they have a future form of income, where the money's going to come from in the future. And I said to you, didn't I, what was it, 2 months ago now, I tell you that the story this year going forward about Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, will be financial. And their last roll of the dice seemed to be fairly recently, where they still want to play the big shot, don't they? So suddenly there's this announcement. They've hired 11 people, you know, to rebrand them, crack publicity team, crack
their own royal court.
Their own royal court in California. Well, I looked at that. I thought, well, each one of these people, you're talking about, these are $200,000 a year executives. You don't get these people, you know, for 30 grand a year, $200,000 a year. You've got 11 of them. So you're talking about a $2 million a year minimum payroll. That's what it's going to cost them. Plus, of course, they've got the expenses of their massive mansion and the way they live. They travel over by private jet. They live, as I've said before, they live a billionaire's lifestyle on, at best, a minor millionaire's money. And that is a recipe for disaster. Where are they going to get the money from? I'll tell you, as ever isn't going to do it. Netflix, that contract's dried up. He's doing nothing. She's just faffing around trying to make headlines, trying to pretend that apricot spread is the key to her future billionaire wealth. Nonsense. So they're in a nothing situation with nothing coming in and with a great deal of expenses. I think they're in trouble. As you said, they're beginning to drop staff already. And you told me last night on my show that you suspect it might be more than we're hearing, that more staff might be leaving than we're officially finding out about. But I think that from their point of view, the more, the better. They need to hemorrhage staff fast because they can't afford this lifestyle. Do you know what I think about both of them? I mean, I know that he's in a unique circumstance, if you like, and she's married into that circumstance. But there's something about both of them, but particularly her. You just want to say, look, Meghan, get a damn job. Get a job like the rest of us. Get up in the morning, go to work, and earn your money. She's always trying, it's a shortcut stuff, isn't it? You know, trying to...
affiliate links.
Yeah. Just like trying to short circuit having to work by coming up with ideas. She's symptomatic of that. Doesn't really want to get a job. Wants to make a billion fast, short-circuiting what the rest of us have to do, which is get up early in the morning and work hard and draw our pay at the end of another hard-working week. I think maybe, just maybe, there's a suspicion that Ms. Markle is a little bit lazy.
Yeah. And then her talking about the scarcity mentality, that she has, that there's never enough money.
Well, that's for damn sure.
Maybe you could fire one of your 34 gardeners, allegedly. So I want to ask you about this. I thought this was very funny. Meghan Markle gets fact-checked by Elon Musk's community notes on X under a post from the Daily Mail that reads, Meghan reveals Archie 6 and Lily 4 sell their homegrown fruit and veg at the local farmers market in Montecito. X community notes clarifies you need certification and approval in order to sell produce and other items privately. And it claims their family is not listed with a link to cdfa.ca.gov. Okay, Kev, a lot of people were suspicious about that comment. I don't believe personally that the children are perched up in a booth at the farmer's market ever. Can I ask you why you think Meghan Markle might lie about this stuff?
Well, here's the deal. When I read that, it jumped out at me. I thought, you mean Lilibet and Archie have got a stall at the local, farmer's market selling lemonade or whatever the hell? She says that she wanted them to do this so that they could learn the value of money, learn the value of work and earning money. Ironically, from a woman who doesn't really do very much and doesn't earn any money. So when I read that, I thought, I really find that hard to believe. And sure enough, it is now confirmed that there's no record of these two kids doing that. Why would she lie about it? Because, again, it makes her seem like a super mom. You know, I'm worried about my kids. They got to understand money, and I've got a little lemonade store at the farmer's market and all this stuff. I mean, once again, it's just the depiction of her with a wonderful family and the lovely little kids selling lemonade at the farmer's market. Aren't they great? Learning about money, also the value of work. But it's another one of her lies, her image-making lies. She doesn't really deal in the truth. As we know, she deals in her truth. And someone's got to sit her down and say, Meghan, there is no such thing as your truth. There is only the truth. You cannot make it up. And if you do make it up in your position, you're going to get found out, just like she did with this little fib about the kids in the farmer's market at Montecito. Ridiculous.
Her ability to lie, in my opinion, her ability to lie, while knowing that there are so many receipts out there, that we can open up a book and see that she said something completely different 3 years ago. Where does that come from? It's one of those things that you like, I see it on court TV all the time when I'm working on court TV, watching people testifying and lying. There's something as like a normal person that you feel in your body when you watch somebody that's capable of that, this discomfort and this, it's so hard to wrap your head around somebody's ability to lie so effortlessly.
She does it. I mean, she does it like an actress. I mean, in a way, it's kind of seamless, except for some of the stuff she says. You go, what? What did she just say? I mean, she delivers it well, but it's the content. The content is implausible. It's fantastical. It's like, what on earth is she saying now? And her problem is, as I always say to you, Kinsey, you get this story, they go, oh, yeah, well, Harry's a bit dumb. He's not too clever, but she's clever. Well, no, she's more clever than Harry, but then again, my dog is more clever than Harry. And
your dog is old.
Yeah, my dog is old and not very clever. But let's not get into my dog. But you see, so just because she's cleverer than Harry, it doesn't make her clever. I think she's dumb, and she should have worked out by now that in her position, in her goldfish bowl, I mean, the world's eyes are on her. Be very careful about what you say, because it will be examined. It will be tested. So she still hasn't worked out if she tells these stupid little lies that tomorrow a journalist somewhere will go, this is a lie. Just like the kids at the farmer's market. That's why they try to tell. That's why they bang the drum about fake news too. Yeah.
That's why they want. There was some rumor years ago that Harry was working with a company to buy up smaller newspapers. There was his Aspen Institute pursuit. Now that was more along the lines of social media, but you see him, talk about the dishonesty in the media. They're trying to discredit some of these media entities so that when we do hold them accountable and we do call them out for blatant lies, they can go, no, we told you, you can't trust the media. You can't trust them. Hey, really quickly before I let you go, thank you for being so gracious with your time.
Cool.
I was asked to comment about the idea that Prince William will not allow Archie and Lily to make decide whether or not they want to be working royals. Ludicrous, ridiculous. But I did want your opinion on whether or not you truly believed that Prince Harry thought that that was an option, or this is just Prince Harry manipulating, trying to get those HRH titles for his kid. Do you have an opinion on that?
Well, yeah, I think that it is Harry trying it on. I mean, Harry's entitlement, his sense of entitlement, knows no bounds. So he feels he's still in a position to demand of the royal family HRH titles for his kids. William, who I don't think for a second is a nasty man, is going to turn around. He's going to say, well, no, absolutely not. He's going to say things like, we don't even know these kids. You know, I've never met them. You know,
the justification to Harry, they did get them on their passports, inevitably. But the justification, according to Prince Harry, was so that his children could decide whether or not they wanted to be working royals in the future.
Kinsey, it's not their decision. It really is not.
Like, what
it
a
is
joke.
not their decision. And the decision from Buckingham Palace via King Charles and Prince William will be this: you're not going to be working royals. End of. It's not up for discussion. If Harry thinks
you are Americans.
Yeah, if Harry thinks there's even a remote chance of that, he's more lost in his own ignorance than I thought, and that's saying something.
That is saying something. Okay, agree with us, disagree with us, let us know in the comments below. I mean, I think that that's a pretty interesting conversation that we might want to delve into more at a later date. I feel like that was such a big question, and we didn't really get into it, but I just couldn't believe that Fox, and I only say this because it's an American outlet. It's an American outlet that's asking these questions. And I was like, this is so unrealistic and offensive.
It is.
But maybe we can delve into that more at a later date. But agree with us. Yeah, agree with us, disagree with us. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Thanks so much for watching. Kevin, I will see you. And if you watch us on YouTube, you will see me again on Thursday with Kevin O'Sullivan on the Political Asylum with Kevin O'Sullivan on Talk TV. Thanks again, Kevin.
Thanks, Ben.